just finished up a boxing sesh with my man Dode here. Back in Perth, for those of you who would know, I was competing in boxing and training boxing really regularly. Since moving to Bali, I've prioritised my bodybuilding a little bit more, so to achieve that, obviously I can't be doing 4 to 5 boxing sessions a week like I used to. But I still love boxing and I don't want to avoid it completely. I've always loved fighting, so Dodo's just helping me to sort of maintain and get in 1 session a week sort of thing. I don't think I'll ever be able to do no boxing or fighting completely. It's probably because of my love for anime and watching Dragon Ball Z really young. I just become infatuated with fighting, and I've always wanted to be able to hold my own in a situation, and the idea of not being able to defend myself would just freak me out. I would hate the idea of like being out with my girlfriend or my wife and some guy saying something disrespectful and then me just having to be like, oh babe, don't listen to them, like let's go. Like I want to be able to sort of stand up for myself and my friends and my family. So it was a sick session. Dode is a competitive boxer himself, so he knows his shit. He's actually got a nickname.
Yeah,
for me.
I got a nickname for Mr. Jack. This is Jack Hanma, you know, in Baki anime.
So everyone loves anime in Bali, which is awesome. For those of you who don't know Jack Hanma from Baki, I gotta admit, he does look pretty similar to me, and Panda will drop a clip.
Jack Hanma, it's a real honor to meet you.
Hold that thought until I'm finished.
So it was a sick session, got a good sweat up. It's always good to hit the bag and hit the pads and stay sharp. So I'm starting, we'll catch you in the next clip for some food. Alrighty, we got a Saturday breakfast feast going down. I do eat a lot freely, 1 day a week. So basically I'll have 2 untracked or free meals on my Saturday, and then the rest of the week, everything will be tracked and I'll be on plan. So I use this strategy basically just as an adherence tool. When I know that I have a nice day of eating to look forward to on a Saturday, it just keeps me very focused on the harder diet days when food might be a little bit lower, and to help sort of push through the cravings when they do kick in. I do understand that having these free meals doesn't work for everyone. For some people, breaking plan can often spiral into like a binge or just sort of eating everything in sight for 24 hours. For me, it's fine. I don't sort of lose control when I have these free meals, and I do sort of obtain the psychological benefits for them. So I think they do have a lot of merit, at least for me, and I know they have a lot of merit for some of my clients as well. So the first meal that's going down today, I've got one sesame bagel with cheesy egg omelette and some bacon rashers. Then I've got another bagel with some smashed avocado and 2 scrambled eggs. Then here I've got a bowl of oatmeal with some coconut, some nuts, and some dried fruits. I've got 1 banana nut muffin and 1 blueberry muffin, and then 1 fresh guava juice. So you can see, like, even though this is my free meal, I'm not eating shit. I guess a lot of it can be considered like bro foods, like eggs, toast, oatmeal, but I'm just sort of eating it in larger quantities than I normally would. And it tastes a hell of a lot better than sort of just the plain sort of eggs and toast and bro food. So it's enough for me to get a nice little switch up and a change, breaks up the monotony of the diet, and then it gets me super fresh and refocused for tomorrow when I'm back onto my base plan. So I am starving. Boxing took it out of me today, so I'm hanging to get into this meal. Alrighty, so I wanted to show you guys a bit of my morning routine because a lot of you still seem to not know what I do for work. So the bulk of my work time is designated to online coaching. So basically every day after breakfast, at least sort of the 3 hours of my morning, that'll be designated to replying to my coaching check-ins. So I thought it would be cool to show you a little bit of the coaching process. So I've pulled up my client here, Jason, his check-in from today. Now I pulled him up because I know he'll be completely chill with me talking about some of his stuff. So basically what I do is when the client checks in, I'll firstly look at their photos, and then I'll compare how they're looking this week to how they were last week and seeing if we're in line with what I want their progress to be. And then I'll pull up the weekly update form. So you can see here on the weekly update form, we have the changes in the average body weight, changes in the waist measurement. Then we have a compliance report. So the compliance report is basically how closely we followed the plan. So how good we followed the weight training and the nutrition plan, were there any deviations and what were those deviations, and how did our cardio go for the week. And then I also have a sleep report because especially during periods of fat loss, that's when sleep tends to sort of deteriorate. So I want to make sure that that's in check. We also have an activity level report. So for a lot of clients, I'll monitor their steps as well as their minutes of cardio. So I like to keep a track of that to make sure we've got that variable monitored and tracked. Then we just have a final section of other comments, things that I'll just be interested in, a little bit more subjective. So what were your energy levels like? How was your hunger and fullness for the week? What was the stress like? How focused on food were you? Because when we're in a fat loss phase, food focus is going to come up, but I don't want to get a client to a point where they're basically thinking about food 24/7. We're also interested in sort of how was the training performance. So how did the pumps feel? How sore were you? How recovered did you feel? Because perhaps if you're not feeling recovered, that's an indication to me that I'm not putting adequate nutrition into the plan. And then I just got an overall comment about the enjoyment of the protocol, because when the client is enjoying the protocol, they're more likely to follow it. So basically I take all this data and the photos, and I decide what I'm going to do for the next week. So with this data that I have, I'll either tell the client, listen, I'm very happy that progress for the week was in line with my target. Let's just carry on with that protocol for the next week. Alternatively, I might say, I wasn't quite happy with that rate of progress for the week. I'm going to adjust the plan, either your nutrition plan or the cardio plan, and I'll send them those changes for the next week. Or I might just say, I'm not really happy with how sleep is tracking, so I'm going to add some carbs in the PM. Or I'm not really happy that you're not getting any pumps from your workout, so I'm going to add a little bit more carbs into your pre-workout meal, things like that. So basically, I'll just email the client the adjustments for the next week, and we will just rinse and repeat that process until we've basically reached our end goal. And that is the beauty of coaching, is that it has accountability and that we're always checking in and making sure that the progress is in line with our targets on a weekly basis. So we're not just spinning our wheels through plateaus for 3, 4, 5 weeks. And that's the major issue with coaches who just give meal plans. The greatest meal plan in the world is only going to be effective for 3 to 4 weeks before your body gets used to it and it adapts, and then you're going to stop making progress. So that's where coaching comes in. You identify those plateaus and you make the adjustments to the program so your body constantly has a stimulus for change. I hope that helps you guys to understand a little bit about how I do my work and how the coaching process basically happens. Alright guys, it is a couple of hours into the future and we're getting meal 2 down. I'd love to say that I prepared this food myself, but that would be a flat out lie. So what we have here is 200 grams of grilled chicken, 250 grams of sweet potato, and 100 grams of green beans. I've got about 1 or 2 hours of client work left, so I'm going to get this meal in and then polish off the rest of my client emails. But that is going to be a wrap for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you enjoyed the video, please throw us a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.